Good morning. I am so sorry. I am slightly late this morning. For some reason, my iPad cannot find live on the iPad. All it says is post and story. So I've been frantically trying to get it to go live, which is really weird. So I need to look at that. So yeah, sorry. Hopefully everything's all working now. I'm using my phone, so that should be good. But usually I have it all set up, so hopefully this is all okay. And here we go. Right, and let's start again. There we go. So let me go onto there, and let's have a look. No requests. So let me just and so. There we go. Let's just get all the questions because I've had to have a bit of a rejiggle around. Hello.
How dare you forget about me?
Honestly, have you jinxed me this morning? I'm like, what is going on? I went to go on every day. I mean, I've done 90 odd of these, and all it says is post and story. There's no live. What is that about? So I'm on my phone. So anyway, introduce yourself, your business, and tell us what you make and sell.
Okay, so I'm Neil Bentley. I run a little. How would you describe it? I would describe it as a side business that allows us to have some creativity to show off some of the talented artists that I work for. So it's a business called 6x4.com.
Right.
And really what it's about is it's about giving the people that work with me in other different businesses the outlet to allow them to do some really creative artwork. So I'm not going to say what the other businesses are because that's way too convoluted, but we do a lot of motion graphics and animation and artwork for very corporate brands. We do some creative stuff as well. But during the pandemic, when things were really challenging for every single business, we looked at ways that we could use our creativity in different ways. And I wanted my really ridiculously talented artists to have that outlet to be able to get their work out. So we only do this very, very small. Like this is very small, limited numbers. When we have the time. So it actually, when you break it off, it is an artisan business. It is a business we're massively passionate about, and it gives something very unique to Surrey. And by the way, I am in Surrey. I'm sat here in Ewell Village. We know each other because we met before at different events, and I'm totally inspired by the work that you do, and I thought, wow, the creators markets would just be a fantastic way for us to kind of show our work off. So that's what we do. We have this little artisan digital shop, and now we're going to sell it for the first time in the flesh.
Wow, excellent. No, it's great as well, isn't it? It's what you said there of different ways of using creativity, and we're really kind of zoning in and looking at that even for next year of different ways and different things we can do of bringing different brands and whatever it might be to bring to an event or something to showcase what people do as such.
Yeah. I mean, I love what you do because you look at things differently and you give advice to people that may have a creative talent but don't know how to sell that, because everybody's creativity has a worth, and you help them understand what that worth is and how to sell that out of something that they might not be comfortable with taking it from their kitchen table to somewhere else, and that's where you come in, and I love that. It's fantastic.
And it's true. I mean, the amount of times in these conversations we talk about the kitchen table, and next week I'm doing there we go, and I'm starting some workshop training, and I thought, where could I do this? And I thought, what better way around my kitchen table? Instead of hiring out a venue, getting people to feel relaxed, people come round, have a nose around the house as well. Not people like, they're like, you know, an excuse to come in. But also that bit where we can, you know, get to help people with social media and talking to other businesses, which, you know, is really kind of important as such. Just another little thing we do. You kind of mentioned why you set up your business, a little bit about 6x4, but how did you come up with your business name?
Quite easily, it's the size of the prints.
Oh, right.
I know it's that. Sorry, it's that easy. It's actually very uncreative. So I've got a selection of things here, but it, you know, so you know that's a 6x4 print,
right? Yes.
And so we had some technology that we used in the business that printed a lot of these really, really high quality 6x4 prints. So we didn't obviously during a pandemic, you're not splashing the cash in other ways. And you've got to be very lean with what you're doing. And I thought, well, okay, what we could do is we could take that and we could utilize that with our art. So we started selling 6x4 prints. So what's a better name than 6x4? But we also did some other experiments with some other things, and obviously went bigger scale, and we get those printed as well, which I'm happy to take you through. I've got
definitely.
I'd love to show you now, but it started off with these 6x4s because 6x4s are really cute. So they're very, very high gloss. As I bend one, and they're very high quality. So everything in here is original artwork. So we've actually done one. One of the artists has done one especially for Dorking Halls on September the 11th.
Excellent.
And they've recreated Dorking Halls.
Oh wow.
So they've actually that's all a sketch that they've done. But at the moment we only have these on 6x4s. But we're looking to get those blown up bigger for the day, so a limited edition just for that day. You can buy. So some of the other stuff that we do, because some of the artists, Paris who's one of my artists, by the way, I've drawn none of these, so I'm not taking any of them. Paris loves Studio Ghibli and Wes Anderson, so we got things like the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Excellent.
And these are all, like I said, hand drawn. We got things like Stranger Things.
Right, that's gonna be a good one. Definitely.
So and then we've got like other random things like controllers for, you know, which will be really cool for games rooms, and they come in as well. And I've got to mention Sarah, who leads the 6x4 store, and she does this amazing what's known as altered art.
Sure.
You've seen it, where you
I've
take
seen it.
an old out of copyright art piece and then add a twist to it. So we're going to be selling these in frames there. So that says Drama Queen. So they're all done by us. So we will have, for the first time ever, a limited edition of framed prints. We've got things like this, which is Squad Goals, which is fun. We've got these, They See Me Rolling. We've got other things like Madam X. Now this is really Now if you delve deeper into this print, see what Madam X is wearing.
Oh right, okay,
So like it's just really ridiculously clever, creative prints, and we do personalized prints as well. And one of the things that I would like to do on the day on September the 11th is have the ability to personalize some of these 6x4s. So if you come along and you see some of the range that we've got there, which will only be available for the day, then you can personalize those and we'll print them out for you there, and then you can take them away.
Wow, excellent. Is there I know it's art, is there any kind of opportunities later of maybe putting that onto clothing, t-shirts or something? Is that something that you might look at?
Yeah, we've done a little bit of that. I suppose it's just kind of focusing in one area at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely right. I mean, it would be great to be put on some t-shirts. We do have another store that my wife runs. As you see, we have a lot going on. Again, I'm not going to talk about that now, but that has some bits on t-shirts, and that's sold more in a drop shipping way than an artisan.
Sure.
You know, these are all created by us, printed by us. We have these in stock, and you know, we want these to be the best they possibly can be. Oh, can I just show you one thing which I think is really cool?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So we have again in the pandemic, just before creating all this stuff, and by the way, there's going to be a load more than this.
Yeah.
There on the day, we created something called Art Zap.
Right.
And this was the first time it's ever been done. And we kind of opened the store and closed the store, but we are going to bring some along to sell, and these are an edition as well. So these are kind of retro cassettes that are being drawn, but as artists. So your favorite artist, but in there is a QR code.
Right.
And if you scan the QR code, it will take you to a different song from that artist every single day. So it changes. So see this up here. In fact, grab it off the wall. There we go. So this one's a song of the day. If you scan that, it will change and give you a different song, different video by so like really upbeat, happy, positive stuff every day.
Nice.
Here is our Art Zap collection.
Wow.
So there's ABBA.
Yeah.
So you have a QR code just there, which you scan in. And if people are watching this live, then they can scan it live too. You've got David Bowie.
Oh, right. Got it. Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
So they all have this kind of, here we go. So there's David Bowie, Elton John and Prince.
Wow. Yeah.
And they have individual QR codes on there. Let's have a look. Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Just a couple more. Madonna.
Oh, 64 today, isn't she?
Is she?
Yeah, 64.
Happy
Don't mention the age
Dora.
of Madonna. She doesn't like her age being mentioned.
Jamiroquai. And this this was done by our creative design manager, Amy, who's amazing. So there's just loads of stuff that we... Sorry, I've got to get myself over here. I'm getting... loads of stuff that we're doing creatively that, you know, we just love art. We love creativity. We love bringing it together. And we've also done a couple of others.
What's great about that is it becomes almost a bit of a talking point, because imagine if you are, you know, a person of a certain age and there with your kids, a cassette, they're going to go, what is that? You know, and you know, the cassettes they're all sort of coming back now, aren't they? They're releasing albums and the cassettes and things, but it's kind of then taking that of artwork that then you can, you know, QR code that's very in at the moment because of what's happened in the last 2 years. So it's a really good way, and then it's a really good way as well of getting kids to learn about music that we need to keep going. They need to know about David Bowie and Prince and Madonna, and you know, it's really important, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a really creative way of doing it, and we can do, because we actually created the technology behind it as well. So the way that we actually schedule all the tracks for all the different artworks, and they switch over every day. But that also means, because we own the technology behind that, we can do custom and private stuff. So if you were along and said, we really want a custom piece that I don't know, has 80s and 90s music in it, or has this particular artist, then we can create the artwork, we can schedule that, and we can print that in any size for you. Not on September the 11th, unfortunately, but we can take that order then, and then we can make that for you. There's a couple of other little special things that we've done as well. So we have these glitter pieces. So there's the Mona Lisa. This one's called Mum, It Ain't a Phase. So this is again done by our artist Parasou, but I don't know if you can see that on here, but there's glitter on the hair and glitter on the skull. So there's the girl with the pearl earring, but she's blowing. A bubble.
I love that. With the
and
Nike.
She's got a Nike headband on. So it's just about trying to fuse lots of different technology, lots of different creativity, and for me, more than anything, it's about giving the people that work for us in our businesses that creativity out.
It's really nice, actually, just saying that we were in Cardiff at the weekend. We stumbled across this kind of shop, and it had lots of different things in it. I had a really great conversation with the guy, and what was great with it is it's all worked on how much you sell and how much you're in the shop. So the more you're in the shop, the greater commission you get. But what was great was he straight away knew pretty much all the artists, and for me, that was really key to his selling, that he was able to say, oh, here's an artist, tell us a little bit about her, give us a business card. And I said to him, you would expect the same people doing that about you. And he then, and a friend of ours, he was a wood turner, and he had all his wood there, and actually a friend bought something from him. But it was really a great way of knowing about who the people were in that shop, and what you've just said there of knowing all the artists and what they're about, isn't it?
Absolutely, 100%.
So you are the curator of that as such, aren't you?
Maybe it should be curated by Neil and Bentley. Maybe I
there
should
we go. We'll change the name. So we said earlier you're based, so your workspace, I mean, where for you is, where do you get your inspiration, or where is it you make your kind of artwork and the other artwork?
Well, up until last week, we were actually based as a company up in Oval. So I've been in Surrey for. I'm a Hampshire boy originally, but I've been in Surrey for 15 years now. I have a bit of a strange past. So my past was I worked in radio. So I used to be on Capital Radio in London. I was on Heart. I did the Drive Time show on Heart. I worked in radio for 25 years. The bulk of my life, I worked in radio. For the last 15 years, I've been living in Surrey. So when I left Heart in London in 2012, I was here. I set up a company, an agency that was up in, weirdly, I don't know why, up in Vauxhall, Kennington sort of way. And I just kind of ended up staying around there. And that for me was a place that, I don't know, I don't know why, but inspiring, and I just felt like home. Unfortunately, the pandemic over the past 2.5 years has affected every single business. And we just come out of our office. So I was in there, I had a 5-year lease in a really super creative space called Offley Works.
Right.
It was an old Sharwood's pickling factory.
Okay.
So like lots of a beautiful courtyard with massive hammock, old brick. It even had like a secret kiln where they used to do pottery.
Wow.
Way back when. But unfortunately, with having a workforce that now is remote, 2.5 years of working remote has been a massive drain and a worry. So we're now completely out of there. We have a little office in Wimbledon now, but it's not really an office that we're in all the time. So really all of our creativity is done remotely. In the workspaces where my team are. And I think before the pandemic, I was really worried that creativity, that level of creativity would go down from people.
Yeah, sure.
But no, it to be honest, it's amplified, and it's been fantastic to see what we've achieved from being in our space. We meet up, every month, and I take everyone out into London, and we have we have like a creative day where we'll go to the Tate, or we'll go and we'll go and see something where we'll pull in lots of trends and see what's going on. So we can apply it to our corporate work as well as all of our creative work.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, that's really where, I'm inspired, to be honest. I'm inspired a lot by Brighton.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
I go down to Brighton a lot. I'm a big lover of graffiti.
Yeah.
Legal, of course.
Yeah. It's something else down there, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And it just gives me such a buzz seeing, new stuff and ideas, and Brighton's certainly one of those places. And it's good to kind of bring that back to Surrey and be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, saying that, very luckily, we've got, I don't know if you've heard him, he's called Uncle Stubble, and he's a graffiti artist, and check him out. He's done our events before, and he's back in September with Stara, his wife, and he does some amazing, and he's got some artwork over, in Dorking, absolutely amazing. And, I'm one of those, the more artwork we can get of his around the town. He's done something up at Ashcombe School recently. So, I've kind of said, look, when it's open, can I come and have a look? Because it blows your mind what he does. There's a house in Redhill, and he's taken the side of it. And one of my favourite artists is Tara Delempica, and it's there on the side of a house, and he is just absolutely, you're going to love his work. He's just absolutely awesome. And that graffiti where, you kind of go, oh, it's a dirty word, but actually when it's proper and it's done, like saying Brighton, it's mind blowing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the difference between the word graffiti and,
yes,
tagging or whatever. Like,
yes.
If you just go along and tag someone's name on a piece of wall, that's horrible. It's funny. I really want to see that graffiti artist. I can't wait to see that graffiti artist. But there's also another person in Portsmouth. So I'm from Portsmouth originally. Yeah. There's someone called Fark, Fark, and he's now built his name up. He does these seagulls.
Right.
So they're just kind of like happy seagulls, very solid canvases that he paints on, like really strong colours, and this seagull, and they're everywhere in Portsmouth now. Everybody wants it because it kind of radiates positivity and looks fantastic, so they get him to come in and do those colours. So it certainly sounds like that graffiti is the same sort of deal.
I think they're quite solid pictures, aren't they, of the seagull? Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, and it's brilliant, isn't it? That sort of bringing that it can bring joy. And there's, he's done like the stepping stones side of a shop there, and it's really sad because there are places in Dorking where I see these walls, and there's Cobbett's just down the road. It's a beer shop, and there's this beautiful wall, and I asked him once, and okay, and it was okay, the store, and it's because the council won't allow him and all of that. And he's got, God, this empty wall could look amazing with like artwork on it, but we try, and if there's more things coming to the town, then it's great, because I always say the more that we can put into our town, then when tourists come, it makes us stand out, doesn't it? Which is we're all for. So earlier you were showing me some artwork. Is there a favourite item that you have at all?
What, in the artwork, or?
Yeah, I mean, or what you've created, because that question was, have you a favourite item to create, and why have you chosen it? Is there an artwork that you've made, or that you create, that's your favourite, or an artist that's favourite?
Oh, an artist that's favourite. What? That's not us?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay. Here we go for a roam. So this is an artist who I think is unreal.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So this is an artist called Screen Prints.
Okay.
This is Grace Jones. Now, if I went a little closer to this, what makes this incredibly special? It's a guy called Ben, and he's never been recognised truly for his skill. So he was sold a lot in art shops in Brighton, but if you go closer, that is all the lyrics to Grace Jones.
Wow.
And they're all in there making up the actual piece. Now I had
Mental.
this. I had this professionally mounted in a different way to kind of coincide with that piece, but
Yes.
it's incredible. So,
Yeah.
I guess my two favorite things, or my two favorite artists that aren't what we do, are screen prints,
Yeah.
and also another one called Pure Evil. So
Okay.
I've got a couple of bits from Pure Evil, and I think he's just a genius.
Does he tell me what he does, because I think I know.
Yeah, so weirdly with Pure Evil, he was first featured on The Apprentice,
Right.
many seasons ago, probably one of the first Apprentice series. He's an artist very well known, based I think in like Shoreditch area.
Yeah.
And he will do so his kind of like tag of Pure Evil is like a little face with teeth type thing.
Yeah.
But his famous prints are like Jackie O with a piece of paint going down from the eye.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Or the Olympic rings with someone stealing one of the Olympic rings, or
Yeah.
the Russian Olympic team with narcotic substances on the. They're all really like, you know, kind of almost like Banksy style stuff, but in Pure Evil's take.
Yes.
Absolutely love it. It's brilliant.
Because he's done Marilyn Monroe, isn't he? He's done what's the name? Wizard of Oz, Judy Garland. I know. Yeah, straight away. It's brilliant. Yeah,
it's about, you know, I think that's one of the most difficult things to do, is to capture a style which makes that style your own,
sure,
and then be able to be known for that style. You know, it's very easy to copy loads of stuff and not be unique, but Pure Evil has, you know, he's done that. He's captured that.
Exactly. It's great. No, I knew exactly you said. So I think after this, everyone's all going to be Googling all the artists, aren't they?
Yeah.
So we have an ethos. It's mainly about, you know, our customer service, which is being friendly, creative and unique. Is there an ethos, a saying, a song that might inspire you?
There is basically we're all kind of built, anyone that works with me, around not being afraid to innovate. Like customer service in our other business, customer service is the biggest thing. We want anyone that buys anything from us, whether it's a service or a product, to love that experience. And I'm very, very lucky that the people that work with me all appreciate that same ethos. But I think one of the things that I have no boundaries on where I think we should go.
Okay.
Do I really believe we're always going to get there? No. But do I believe we should dream and we should do things to try and get somewhere? Yeah. And it's not like some sort of like, you know, kind of hippie thing or whatever. I just believe that if you don't go and try and innovate and be creative in, you know, and you will never get anywhere. You'll stay in the same position. You won't go anywhere. So I like, you know, whether it's with our art, whether it's with some digital apps that we make, whether it's with who we work for, we always sit down and go, okay, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? Who are we going to work for? What are we going to do? We think big. Thinking big is a really big for us.
Yeah, I love a couple of things you just said there. Really, kind of with us. I remember when, you know, our markets, and then, you know, in 2021, and we were in the Grand Hall, and it was like, why would we go back in and then it was, you know, somebody just said the word go big or go home, and I thought, it is, isn't it? And it's about, I think as well, of change. I think change, I love change. I love things changing. And some people get really freaked out with it. And I think in the last 2 years of having that thrown at us, that, you know, and I think it's quite funny when you look back and you say to some people, what did you do in lockdown? And there's the people that sat there and they just binged on, you know, Netflix and just sat there and ate, you know, whatever. You just think, oh, what did you do? And it's really nice to actually find out from small businesses that, well, I've done this, or I tried this and actually it worked. And, you know, and changing, and like you said earlier, of the artwork and looking around at what you do and looking at that change and how do you put that into artwork. So yeah, the change is yeah.
And I wouldn't be afraid of failure as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a scary. I mean, it's a scary thing for me. It's a scary thing for anyone. But if again you don't try something, you don't know whether you're going to win. And yes, there is a chance that you might not. But from that experience, you might learn something to take it to the next thing. So, and I've got to say that I'm not afraid of failure going to Dorking Halls on the September the 11th. People might come round and go, this is terrible, but you know, but I'm hoping they won't, but you know, I'm really excited about being down there and trying this for the first time. You know, we've never been at a place where we're selling it to people where I can see the white of their eye. We've done this all online, and sometimes that's a very clinical process, and you know, it's not very personable. Where being there with other people that are doing really creative things, making relationships, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what else is down there, because I'll probably end up buying something from someone that's next to me. Because we actually came down to your last one, didn't we? And my wife bought some things from some people there, and I think she bought some earrings, and we met some incredible people. So I'm, you know, if I didn't try it, I wouldn't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. So never be afraid of failure in what you do.
Yeah, and it's really important, isn't it, as well? I think, you know, because we're there as well. Obviously, Rob is Dapper Suave. After every single event, we will sit down and we will walk through what went well, what didn't go well. That could be the table. Was this right? Was that right? What were the customers? And also with that, we're able to share that information. You know, our last event in September, as we sent to you guys, and saying, you know, the spending, people aren't spending, but what they're spending on are those feel good things, or they're not, you know, and just having that we know, that we can share that with you. And you know, we know how the world is at the moment and the financial spend, but also it's taking from that if you don't do so well, but what if, you know, on the day that you've made connections, you've given out, you know, 200 business cards, you know, and, you know, that's another way to look at, you have an offer on that day. It's those other things to entice the customer in, and that's what's important as well, isn't it? That afterwards you can look back or say, what do we do? What can we do better? All the time, every time.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that you mentioned there is about having an offer, and we do have a ridiculously special offer that we are going to do. We're again, this is about us getting our artwork out to people. So I mean, I don't want to say exactly what it is now, but if you do come down on September the 11th at Dorking Halls, you'll be able to buy a single item in whatever size, or you'll be able to buy 3 of those for a ridiculously cheap price.
Cool. Yeah.
So we're doing something really, really special that I don't want to say on here, because some of our artwork is available on digital platforms elsewhere.
Yeah.
So if you come down and you buy 3 of them, let's just say it might not even cost you what it costs to buy one online.
Yeah. And then that's what you say as well, isn't it? It's that bit of, you sell online, and, you know, the postage and packaging. Come along, come and meet the people that make that, you know, and it's really, you know, important. Shout out to all of your followers that you're at this event, them to come and see you and all of that. It's funny, the people that don't, you look back and there are people that don't, you know, they're sat, well then, but for footfall, shout out, get people to come and meet you, get, you know, other ways of just getting people to know about you and your brand and what you're about, and come to meet, because that's what people really want more than anything, is to get to know those people who what they make. Because you don't go shopping, you don't go into a store and know who those people are. You know, you've got 50 people, businesses with that person behind that makes it. So, you know, you don't get that anywhere as such, do you?
No, not at all.
No. So what would you say are your goals and dreams for this year or beyond? I say and beyond.
Well, actually, with our artwork, I would love to be able to sell our artwork. I'm not thinking kind of worldwide here. I'm thinking within our county, and I would love to be able to stock our artwork in some stores around our county. I would like to kind of geo-fence us into our location. Say, well, this is where you can buy it, and we can do some limited stuff in different stores. So that with this, I would love to see that happen. You know, to be able to supply stores with some of our artwork at a kind of price which makes sense for the store and a price which makes sense for us, and to be able to spread that out.
Excellent. So who would you say is your support network? I always asked that one.
Well, my support network it's my wife, who is, you know, without her could not do anything. So I have an autistic son, and my autistic son is non-verbal. He's 13, and you know, Safa's you know, looked after him, and not saying I don't, but has given me the ability to be able to do things in my businesses without having to worry about that. In fact, she's got him somewhere else in the house right now, just to make sure he doesn't run in on this. But yeah, she's massively supportive. She will also tell me when I'm right or when she thinks I'm wrong. But she will always be encouraging. I think, you know, your support network starts at home. If you can get that family support network, my mum, you know, my in-laws, but also, you know, I have the luck of having a business with staff members, which isn't the same as another business. Like, it's not big. There's like 6 or 7 people in our business, but they're all family. Yeah. Not real family, but work family, and we all support each other, and that kind of linked network from at home, extended family, and work colleagues really help. Yeah.
Well, you can tell Saffron as well that she's still on our fridge.
Oh, really? Right, yeah.
So those people who don't know as well, Neil and Saffron run Surrey Cast, so you might have seen these guys. So if you haven't, head over to Surrey Cast and follow that, because these guys do an amazing job of, you know, supporting small businesses. They have chatted to me. There is going to be another one with Dapper Suave with Rob, which he's quite excited to do. So yeah, and you do lots there, and it's really great. So we have a picture of, for all those people thinking, what is he on about? We've got a picture that you took at the Surrey Expo, wasn't it? And
it was, yeah.
She's on our fridge and she's still there.
So that podcast, you know, we kind of just taken a break over the summer period with that podcast. We have a couple of other interviews with Surrey businesses in the can. We will be kind of, you know, reigniting that a later date. But yeah, it's that. I mean, that actually really helped us connect with people like you. You know, without that, I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have this opportunity of coming down to Dorking. I wouldn't be meeting the other people. And actually, you know, as a little bit of an extension on what we're talking about, if anyone's watching or listening to this that wants to be able to do more marketing and try and reach more people, a podcast is a fantastic way to do it. And because radio was my background for 25 years, look, if you want any help, or you want to know how to do it and do it the right way and attract other people and boost your business through podcasts, then, you know, please feel free to get in touch. And
that was quite interesting, because the other week, when the people doing the workshop that I'm back to next week, I asked them what they all wanted. So with it, I can take all of the 4 people and go, look, what do you want? And from it, somebody actually asked about podcasts, and I was quite interested myself as well. So who knows? You know, and it's, you know, maybe as like I've said as well, of, you know, doing that in a comfortable environment, because Doodle Moo that we chatted to, which she's finally got her other Instagram back. We chatted to her the day she had 27,000 followers on it and lost it, and now this morning it's back. Yeah, and she does a podcast, and it kind of got me thinking, oh, I don't know, maybe, I don't know.
Well, if you want to invite me to your kitchen table, maybe I can give like a little, you know, our podcast masterclass of what to use, how to use it, what you can use online, how you can extend your reach with that.
Sure.
You know, I'd be happy to.
Excellent, thank you. Yeah, and it's really lovely because I got to know you from Dan and James from Coffee Flamingo, and we met with them the other day, and we said that you were going to be at the next event, and they were very excited because they loved the artwork. It was the, you know, the lady with the earring and the bubble gum. So yeah, I think they were quite, you know, really excited. So yeah, and it's always those little connections that you get, and as you said earlier, with a lot of people that do our events, we call it, you know, a community, a tribe, a family. You know, it's people that are in, you know, sometimes, you know, they say, what's it, blood is thicker than water or whatever with family, but you know, you can create your own little kind of people that you want to be around as such, which is really important. So yeah, excellent. So we know that you're doing September the 11th, so we don't have to ask that question. And the last question that we ask everyone is, why did you choose to work with us?
I think I've already covered. I think I've already covered that. I think that, you know, from the first time that we met you, firstly, your passion for the area and for making people's businesses better shines through.
Thank you. Yeah.
Secondly, you're really nice people, and that, like, you surround yourself. What you were talking about there is you surround yourself with positive people, you get a positive outcome. And you know, we hadn't met, or we met at the Surrey Business Expo, and straight away it was just like, you know, wow, you know, there's a spark about you and Rob, and there's I don't mean any of this to be patronising at all. This is
no.
This is like there's something there. There's an excitement and an energy that you know, you just want to be a part of it. And then when we came down in whenever it was,
May, yeah.
It you know, it was just brilliantly put on. There was some great stuff in there. You know, the curation of the different businesses together was a really nice patchwork quilt of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was just super impressed, and I think, you know, our ambitions, like I said, aren't to be this massive art brand. This is just something, you know, super small, that's really special, that you can't get anywhere else. And actually, when you put that in together with what you have, that's the perfect fit.
All right, do you know what? I really love what you just said there. I'm going to use that, the patchwork quilt. I love that. Thank you. No, honestly, something I do, and that's the way you think of a quilt and how it looks and how it's put together. And if you put the wrong piece in that quilt, it's going to look wonky. It's going to look wrong. And it's very true, you know, and you said there, it's really, even like now with next year of us going forward with the events and other things that we're going to do, you know, and there are some people that have decided, no, don't want to do your events. Fine, that's absolutely fine. And also it's then surrounding us with the right people and making sure that after an event of how we feel, because if that event hasn't gone so well because of last couple of times, the great weather or Eurovision or whatever, sometimes it's our fault. It's, you know, and it's sometimes you have to kind of take that and go, no, actually, if it has been low footfall, what have you done with that time? And if you're going to stand there, you know, slagging us off to other people who then come and tell us, then you're not part of our event anymore. You're not part, you wouldn't do that to a family member or whatever. So it's really kind of brings us back together of going, you know, we don't want, and also we won't tolerate any bullying with other stallholders, nothing like that. If anyone was to do that at our event, I would ask them to go. And that's what we need. We need that environment so that we can all, you know, feel comfortable and not feel agitated because that person over there is, you know, saying not nice things, and actually stop focus on what you're selling instead of what's going around, and maybe you might make some sales.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to just being part of it. I'm looking forward to selling what we have.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to putting on a really good experience, but I'm also looking forward to building on that with you.
Sure.
And being part of more of your events, because I
Yeah.
think that, you know, I would love to be a part of a Christmas event. I would love to be a part of, you know, these opportunities that small businesses should literally, you know, snap your hand off if they get the being part of. And you're right, you know, if everyone, here's a really good quote for you. Here's a really good quote. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah.
And
True.
that, you know, with the ethos of your markets, if everyone pulled together to market that, it's going to be a much bigger success than someone just on their own doing it and everybody else not caring.
Yeah.
So it really does, you know, it's quantity in numbers. It's coming together as a community. And again, I'm new to this, so I don't know if you have like networking events where everyone gets together, has a coffee, has a chat, and or jumps on a Zoom or whatever. But I think that would be a really good thing as well.
I think we did do some of that. I think sometimes a lot of it is so much time, even getting this together. You know, I had somebody's cancelling tomorrow, somebody on Saturday, so then my time is trying to put it all together. And Rob was like, "Don't sweat it. You haven't got anyone tomorrow. Fine." And actually, I think I beat myself up a bit, and I'm going, actually, if we haven't got anyone tomorrow because they've cancelled and they can't do that day, fine. You know, we had a couple of breaks at the weekend, but I kind of I can kind of, when I'm doing the 10 at 10s, I like to go, boom, like you did, isn't it? Do the podcast and then stop, back again. So, but yeah, I think sometimes it's what you say, it's about quality, not quantity. So, which is another thing that's really exciting. I will be contacting you. This has been going on for a year now. We actually have the artwork, as you might have seen, in the cafe bar area of Dorking Halls. This is celebrating 15 years, sorry, not 15, a year. So there's 15 artists there. And what we do is this artwork will change before the September event. And what we try to do is have the artists that are there. So we'll be looking at that. And also, I've got some really, really great ideas of bringing to life not just, you know, the gallery. I've got some other ideas of bringing all of the artists in so that we can get to meet. I was there the other week meeting Light Radio Matt, and there were some people and they were looking at the artwork. And I said to them, you know, what about the artist? And I was explaining a bit more, which made me think I need to have a bit more detail about the artist. But I said, would you be interested in an art gallery coming along, meeting that artist, seeing more artwork? And she was like, yeah, straight away. So that's something that I'm kind of working on so that we can have like you and other artists there with their artwork, selling it, but in a nice, you know, environment with a couple of drinks and food and that. So that's, you know, got me thinking, yeah.
Well, I've got an idea for you there.
Go on.
Where if you that space in the cafe of Dorking Halls where you have it all, why don't you have a couple of chairs, do a live podcast, invite people to come down, listen to the live podcast, where you can then talk to the artists about their life and their work and show some of the work, record that podcast, and then put that podcast out afterwards, and then you could create a series.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's an easy thing to sort out, and I'm sure that a lot of people would like to come down, whether it's a free event, whether it's a couple of quid to get in.
Exactly,
but you know, super easy to do, and would be a good thing.
Definitely, because in Dorking Halls there's another, just up the stairs, there's a mezzanine floor with another bar and things like that. So you know, you can have downstairs, but then more artwork and things. So yeah, I'm going to talk to the guys about that, because it's just another thing. And you know, with it as well, all the artwork that put up, you know, I do this out of love of my heart. So I curate it, put all that together. I don't pay anyone, but also looking forward, I might have to start paying, because I know that people get art, they sell their artwork from it. And I've sold, there was a lady there, they were going off to see Downton Abbey, and we were taking the artwork down, and the artist was late, and I was explaining all about what she does, and the next day she actually sold that artwork to them. Did put on a Facebook page she'd sold the artwork, and I had to correct her and say, no, I sold it for you. It was that, and that was a £300-400 piece of work, and her words were to me the day, if it wasn't for my artwork here, I wouldn't be selling my artwork. So I'm like, okay. So, yeah. So it's just that getting their name out there, isn't it? Right. Us two could probably talk for hours, which we need to do over a beer one evening. I think that's the right thing. So we will see you guys September 11th. I'm loving this rain at the moment, I have to say. It's just, isn't it great? Yeah, it's lovely. I know this is really sad. I was out in the garden with all the pots with a wooden spoon put in a holes to gather the water. I know, I turned into that person, yeah. And we bought and we bought a water butt last year, because when we moved here 10 years ago from Croydon, I tried to pick up the water butt and it split, so it never came here. So yesterday we treated us after a water butt. So very excited, we're collecting all the water as we speak. I know, it's the little things, isn't it? Right, yeah. So we'll see you guys in September. As I say, this will go out onto our YouTube. We'll share it onto LinkedIn as well, on Facebook and whatever. And really great to talk to you. And I'll see you very, very soon. Sorry about the beginning bit. But,
oh, that's all good. By the way, if anyone's watching this and they are going to be coming down on September the 11th, or they want some custom stuff done to pick up, actually, yes, September the 11th, then please get in touch with me.
Yeah.
Now, if you get in touch with me, well, the easiest thing to do is go to 6x4store.com. Yep. So that's all letters, no numbers. So 6x4store.com. That will take you to kind of our Etsy page, where you can see lots of different bits on our Etsy page. If there's anything that you think, actually, I'd really love that, and I'd love that in this size and whatever, yep, get in touch with me. You can do that. Probably the easiest email address to get me on would be neil.bentley, that's BENTLEY, at webvid.com, WEBVID.com. And then just let me know what you're thinking, and then we can put something together which we can then bring along to September the 11th, and you can pick it up from us there.
An alternative as well, on Etsy, you can do a custom order as well. You can press, we have that with ours, which is another thing as well.
Yeah. But I don't want that. I want them to come along September the 11th.
Exactly.
I want them to come along.
What you've said there as well, isn't it? Of those things of saying to people of like the postage, well, actually, why don't you come along to an event, pick it up there instead of paying for the postage? We sold a badge the other day, and it was £1.5. It was £1, and it was £1.5 to post it. We're like, okay.
Yeah, I'm saying it now. If you want something from us and you get a custom piece and you pick it up from us on September the 11th, I will give you something extra as a special.
Oh, look at him.
Only if you order that via the email address I just said, come down with me and we'll sort that out.
Excellent. Well, we'll share it, and then you can always add your email address there as well, which is great. Excellent. Great to talk to you. That was an hour we chat. Well, just under an hour, because it took me 5 minutes to get onto it. Okay. All right. Speak soon. All right. You take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.